Morning.
Hey, Matt.
Howdy.
It's talking just you and me today.
Looking like it's just us. So, yeah, I didn't have much of an agenda to begin with, other than I was maybe going to give an update as to where things stand. I don't know. Is that useful?
My sound working for you? Had a
What's
little
that?
technical trouble with my sound. I just didn't hear what you just said.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, it is probably just us. Like, I didn't have like a really big agenda for today. I was just gonna give kind of a status update of where things kind of currently are.
Okay,
So
go
I
for
don't
it.
know.
Yeah, I was looking for the PR that you have open for it, so I could go through it and make sure I leave some good comments for you. But I think from what we talked about last week, I'm on board with what we're doing, what you guys are agreeing with.
Cool. Yeah, I guess maybe that's the main update is that let me see here. Yeah, is that I have opened a PR, and of course the Zoom menu is always in the way. Yeah, so I opened this error hint PR as we kind of discussed last time. There's been a lot of good, healthy discussion on it. I think, you know, the main issue is this guy Christian has opened another PR that modifies the same API to allow for additional attributes, which I think is a good idea, but it's kind of causing a little bit of a dependency order problem with these PRs. I think because his has way more approvers than mine, he was hoping that his would merge first and then I would pick up his changes. So I think a lot of this is because he has requested changes, and I think he's not going to remove that until his PR merges. So I feel like this thing is effectively blocked on that other work. So I will probably ping some people and see what we can do about trying to merge Christian's PR so I can pick up the changes. So we can at least get that conflict out of the way.
Yeah, this was the information I was looking for earlier. I was trying to find the PRs and go through them and just read and make sure I truly understand everything going on. And this one thing I tell you, Matt, this is my first week. I'm actually starting to deep dive into open telemetry since I've been joining the meetings.
Great.
We finally have a research spot where we can spend time and actually get deep in this. So this is my first week doing it.
Great.
Yeah. Excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good time to have some time to work on open telemetry. There's a lot happening right now. So
what can I do to help you with it? Is there anything I can help you with?
With this in particular, I think it's I feel like it's in a pretty good state. I feel like the main thing is just incorporating the changes from this other PR that has yet to merge. So
You said there was a circular dependency. Is it just because the signature of the API is a little different between the two? What we're intending to propose and what he has proposed?
Basically, we're both adding a new parameter to the same API. So basically, there's I guess we can probably look at this really quickly. But yeah, we're both adding a new parameter to the same API. I guess he got rid of the examples in his PR.
You want to add the stack trace that's been removed.
Yeah, so basically, the spec as it currently stands is there's a record exception API. It can take an exception and then it will kind of unfold those into the proper semantic conventions. And basically, for an exception, you will have like exception.type, exception.message, exception.stacktrace. So this is kind of like the really simple version of this API method where you would pass all those in individually. But it's like if you actually have an exception object, like there's no reason that you should have to drill down into the exception. Just pass it in and like have it record the right attributes for you.
Mm-hmm.
But basically in this guy's PR, this is just a wrapper around add event because it's recording an exception as an event on the span. So in case you want to add like some additional attributes to your event, that's kind of what he's adding in this PR is that, yeah, is that it should allow some additional.
The audio went out completely for a moment.
Oh.
Yeah, the message up on the screen that your internet connection is unstable. But it was in the Zoom window.
Okay, so that might be my internet today. I'm not really sure. But basically, all right, let's see if I can summarize this. We're both changing record exception. Right now, like this is what exists, is record exception with an exception. I'm proposing that we have this in this PR, exception and error hint. And that third PR is basically adding in this additional attributes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense because then you can control whether to actually flip that hint flag or not.
Yeah, so I guess go ahead.
I mean, you basically, what you're saying here is you're hinting whether this exception, this record exception, I'm sorry, I'm saying it wrong, whether this exception you're about to record is something you think is an error or not, that's from a programming standpoint. And so
yes.
you can do something different in the API under the coverage.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's pretty accurate. This is like the best you can do is the programmer can give their very expert opinion on the situation. But there are things downstream that can decide to honor or ignore that that hint. But yeah, that's basically where things stand. So I don't know that I had too much more for this meeting.
So this point is basically waiting to see what more people have to say about that and have moved forward from that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if there's anything else that we should talk about or if maybe we should end this. I know we'll probably be at the Ruby SIG before long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be nice to spend a little bit more time. I'm going through the PRs for the Ruby SIG. I'm trying to decide on what to work on. And we'll talk about it in the SIG meeting. So I'm going to ask some questions about it. What are some priorities? Where can I help? You thinking about that before the meeting? We can talk about that and see what we can do. And I think it can be documentation, it can be triaging if you want, figuring out what we're trying to do as a team, figure out the gap between what open telemetry GA target is and where Ruby stands in relation. Trying to understand that better for ourselves, and especially me. I'm trying to understand that so I can see where I can help get us to GA. in the Ruby code. That's my goal.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I think there's a lot of things that could be done, and we should probably prioritize our backlog now, and get like a required for GA label over there. I don't know if we have that label yet, but I think, yeah, I think we can talk about that at the next meeting, but I think that would be a good idea for us to have.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, I'll see you then.
All right, yeah, see you at the next meeting.